Okay, so last week we completed a very interesting so topic, and this is very important. The more you practice it, the more you're gonna get. And then what we did last week was it's called user administration, and then we saw how we could create a user, and then we could use the ID command to check the users what group he's belonging and all that. Okay, and then we looked at the login definitions, and then we created the user manually and the group manually. So when you do it without specifying, it will automatically create the group as the same as the username. Okay, so we have went through all this here. Did anybody had a chance to do this at all, or you were practicing something else? Okay, so now what we're going to do is ACL, access control list. We're going to focus on today file access control list. There are other ACLs. Specifically, there is something called network access control list. What it does, it will control the network layer, or how you could how we gonna how we gonna control the network access for the user. But that is beyond the scope of this class. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do just worry about the faculty here. This is gonna fall into our domain. So what it is simple, as it says here, file access control list. What you could do is you could grant or deny permission to a file based on the individual basis. Okay. So let's take a look at what it means here. Let's see. Okay. Data. So what we have here is we have a folder named data, and then it has all this information in here, right? Let's go into cd/data ls-l, and then you see that this folder data has access to um, the files inside this folder data were created by Zach, and then that file belongs to the group develop. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna um, try to change this around and see how it's gonna affect this. Okay, let's do. So you type the command set facal -m and then user Zach1. U stands for user Zach1, and then we're gonna give him read, write, and execute permission for the folder data. Okay, and then let's see if you want to see who has a facal. If the facal is already set or not, you could check with the command using get facal. So over here, what you see is file, data, root, and then group is operations. So user, he has read, write, and execute permission. And who is that user? User is Zach1. He has read, write, execute position. And the group also has a read, write, execute position. and then the mask, the U mask is set to read, write, execute, and others they have only read, write. Okay, so the specific user Zach1, he has a read, write permissions for this folder. So what we're gonna do is ls-ld slash data. Okay, did we did ls-ld before? So what you see here is you see an extra plus sign here. Whenever you see a little extra plus sign here, that means the faculties are set on this folder. Okay, so let's see here. Select set facle hyphen u. Okay, I'm in this folder pwd, and then ls hyphen al ld ls hyphen ld slash data. What it does is it will give you the permissions for this. It will show you the long list for this folder data. It will give you read, write, execute permission, and then root operations and all these things. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we are in this folder here. So let's see. Switch as Zach1. Remember, you are root, right? Whenever you are as a root, you could like switch to anybody without even putting in the password, because you have a super user privileges. You go in here in a password file, which saves the user name information. As a user, you could go into any of these users. You could just simply type su. Su stands for switch user. SUZAK1. Okay, because since you're a super user, when you hit enter, um, you are the system won't prompt you for the password, because you really don't need it, because even if it asks for a password, the super user, which is root, can reset the password, so it doesn't care to ask the password. But if you go like SU Zafar, if you like a regular user, and if you try to go to switch to user, it will ask you for the password. Okay, remember that. Again, if you are a regular user and if you try to switch as a root, it will ask you for the password. Okay, so let me go ahead and go in here, data, ls. There are 10 files in there, so I'm going to try to make more files. Touch slash touch y. So I was able to make the folder 10 files in here, right? Y1, Y2, Y3, Y4 up until 10. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to exit here, exit. I'm back as root. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take the privileges for the Zach1 for that folder. Set facle hyphen m. Okay, and then what you say is u colon Zach1. Okay, slash data. It says operation. Okay. Hmm. Okay. I think I have to type exactly. So what this three dot means is it's removing read write access. Remove one, two, three. So what you're doing is when you're typing three dashes, it's giving you removing read access, write access, and execute access. Okay. Let me hit enter, and then let me switch as Zach1 again. Then let me go to data folder, and then now you see the user Zach can't even go into that folder. It says permission denied. Okay, it sounds ridiculous here. Why would you do that to individual user? But when you go on to a job and start using it really, then you will figure it out that why this is for CD data, or I mean the why you could deny the permissions for specific users. Okay, so with that we complete the user administration. Anybody has any questions? Okay, let's see here. Man, this is a heavy topic. I'm not ready for this. By the way, anybody, are you guys putting together the document I told you about? Like, right, putting together a resume, what you've been learning, and putting it in like a blank Windows, I'm sorry, not Windows, a Word document that what you've been learning, because job market is really hard, and then you could start marketing yourself. And there is a recruiter I could give your name, and then he could help you too. So, Bashar, what are you doing? I mean, are you guys starting to memorize this? Because I told you all to start memorizing these 60, 65 questions.
Yeah,
This
yeah,
is
yeah. I
really
start.
important.
I start with this. Yeah.
Okay. Uh, right now, don't worry about it. Some of them you will understand. Like the first one, you know the first one, right?
Yeah.
Second
Some of
one,
them it's new.
yeah. Second one and third one, you know already. There may be some in here that you may not understand. You should know what inode is for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
Like what is the DNS package? I'm just saving this one um, for a better day here because this is a really heavy topic. Mm, how is the practice going on? Are you practicing it every day? By the way, I put in the new
You see the other assessment. Yeah.
yeah, new assessment is there. So yeah, that server when it's on, try to go in there when it's not on, and then let me know in the group. Then I'll turn it on. Because what happens is after 2 hours it goes down. Okay,
Mhm.
so let me see if it's on. Okay, by the way, there is no class tomorrow. I'm traveling, so don't worry about the subject. We have enough subject. I will cover that. There is no class tomorrow, though. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. I just turned that server on. We'll see if it's gonna go. Okay. So we're gonna work on NFS. Remember, we talked about NFS when the system boots into run level 3, it has access to NFS, but it doesn't have access to NFS when it's in the run level 2 or run level 1. So what we're gonna do is for this we need two host. Can somebody tell me when I say host what I'm talking about?
Server.
A what?
Like you mean two hosts?
Yeah, that's the
Server,
server that you're on.
server.
Okay, yeah, server. Good. 48. Okay, let's give this try here. Um, this is a really little bit complicated, but we'll see. We'll take a look here. Okay, let's clear this up. Set up IP client. Uh, did you remember? Did I went over this SSH file transfer protocol? Okay, apparently not. So Let me go ahead and go over this first. All right, let me bring up another server. Okay, this is one of the bad ones. Okay, so what I'm gonna do here is NFS. I'm saving. There are some topics in here which are like very heavy topics. I'm not sure if we are ready for that, but let's cover the smaller topics here. So what we're gonna do is SFTP. What does SFTP stands for is SSH File Transfer Control Protocol. What this is you could install one of these, and you could have like a transfer of file between one computer to another computer. Okay, so let's install that. So the command is you just copy this yum install open SSH server. So we're going to do this on this host. This is going to be a server, and this is the bottom one is going to be a client. Okay, so what you're going to do is they're going to be this is going to be set up as a server which hosts lot of data files on the system, and as a user they will be connecting from here, and they will be downloading stuff up and down here. Okay, so let's see here. Let's install this. 124 is going to be the server, and then let's take a look here. I can't type it. Okay, so this one is using nick bonding, doesn't matter. What we're going to use is 33 is going to be the client server. Okay, clear this up. So you type yum install. By the way, you should have known by now, this is the format you type in to install the whatever in this is specific to Red Hat. any Red Hat, older or newer ones, it says starts with yum install, and then you type the name of a package. Open SSH hyphen server. Just hit enter, and it says you need to be root. Okay. Now most of these privileges are done by root. So if you're like a regular user won't be doing this. So the moment you are running as a root, then you have full access and you are able to download the packages. Okay, it says here that the package is already installed. One good way to see if the package is already installed or not is to type which, and then you type the package name, and then it will tell you that it's sitting in here. No open. Hmm. Okay, it says that it's not. Okay, I'm using a -y. This will force it to install it. We'll take a look, see if it's going to do that. Okay, it says already installed, so we'll take the word. Okay, so what it's saying here is you could check the netstat if the port 22 is open. -ANP. ANP stands for all network port. And then we're going to look for grep w22. So the port 22 is open. If you see like it says listen over here, whenever it says listen, that means it's on. Port 22 is on. It's open to communication. Okay, so we'll see if the service is ready or not. So what you type is service shhd status. Okay, the service is already running it. So what we're going to do is we're going to add the username. We're going to create a special user that only going to connect from this host and is going to connect to the server. So we're going to type first what we're going to do is we're going to go to cat etc password file and take a look in here. So in here we don't see a user which is user1, or perhaps the user1 is already there. Okay, so let's what we're going to do is, since the user1 is already there, we're going to connect from here to over there. So how are you going to connect? What information it will need? Anybody? I could type SSH, and after that what information it needs? It needs the IP address 192.168.1.24. Okay, so if I type here ifconfig, what is the IP address you're going to get? This is 24, but if I type config here, this is also 24 because we went in here. From here, we went into this system. So we're going to exit here. So we went in there as a root. But if you don't specify a command, it's going to go automatically as a root here. It's going to go automatically as a root at the IP address. But when you do SSH and then the username, then what it's going to go in there is it's going to go in there as a regular user. Okay, and then you hit enter, and then you provide the regular username, Red Hat, and then you are logged in there as a regular user. So you could see here you are in 1.33, but you are in 1.24. So what you could do is you are literally right into this. You're literally right into this server, but you're restricted only to the user level access. So if you try to install something, yum install Firefox, and it says you need to be a root for you to be able to do it. So right now you're not you're this host and this host, they both are same. How you know they are both are same? You see the IP address is same. Okay, let me go ahead and exit out of here. There you go. We are back to 33. Give me one moment. Okay, I'm back here. So the things are getting a little complicated here. The important thing is you're gonna have to keep practicing it. Okay. First two documents, you should be very well versed in this, and then you should practice first one basic command, second one via editor every day, and then rest of them you pick a topic and work on that topic every day. Okay. So we worked on this is one other topic which is pending here. I need to come back to this because I think it never worked for us. I have to set up a different lab, and then I'll make sure we are able to perform that task here. So we are done with user administration. Okay, and then we took care of SFTP, and then let's see if we could do VSFTP. Okay, yeah, let's work on this. Okay, I'll share something. It says very secure file transport control protocol, but down on the bottom, I put a note in here that VSFTP is not secure because the files are transferred in plain text. So if you compare with SFTP and a VSTP, it says VSFTP, but VSFTP is not that secure. What is secure is the regular SFTP because it's using the SSH protocol, and VSFTP it's using the different protocol. So even though it sounds like very secure file transfer protocol, this is not secure because it's using the older technology. But anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and set this up and see if it's gonna be able to if we are able to go transfer data back and forth here. So again, the first one is going to be the 24 is going to set as server, and then 33 we're going to set this as a client, okay? And I will follow this document and see if we gonna run into any problem, or it will help us understand and make the connection. Okay, I want you guys to like ask a question now and then, because for me it feels like I'm just talking to dead air, you know. Bashar, you there? Abdul Malik?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay,
I'm here
see
as
you
well.
joining in. Everybody else is here. Okay, so to be honest with you, I'm not using this at my place here because it's a very, very big environment. We are using something else. But if you are end up going to be at the smaller environment, like if you have like 10,000 servers, there may be some group that would require you to have this setup here. So, don't worry about this. If this comes up, you could come here to this document and then run this document on your host here. The only thing will be different is the IP address. Okay, I could demonstrate the why IP address is different. This is the IP address at the time when I was creating this document, and then the IP address now when we're gonna when you're gonna worry is different here. So we're not worried about IP address. IP address is just the number here at this moment. Okay, so very first one, it says here to set up a server, we're gonna have to run this command. So let me type yum install vs vsftp d. Okay, what does d stands for is daemon. Daemon means service. In Red Hat world, daemon stands for service. Okay, so we are telling this we are using this command to install vsftp, and it's being, you have to be a root to do that. Okay, if you're a regular user, you're not going to be able to do this. Okay, look at this here. It says a very small package size is on only 140K, 340K, I'm sorry. Okay, so it's installed, installation complete. Let me clear this. And the second command is chconfig vstpd on. What is chconfig? Chconfig is it will okay, let's type chconfig. What chconfig does is it will have all the run level information, and it will, based on this information here, whatever the particular run level you are in, it will keep the service on or off. So when we look at the vstpd, it is keeping the service off for all the run levels. Run level 0, well, 0 is off, so it doesn't make sense here. I won't be surprised if any of them will be on. So obviously it's off. So but here, like the first one here, this is on in run level 1 and 2 and whatever it's based on configuration, and we are worried about vsftpd. So looking at here, we are worried about run level 3, and this one is turned off. So let me, if we just do the regular command here, vstpd on, let's see if it's going to turn it on for all of them. Okay, so what it did here is by default, it turned it on for run level 2, it turned it on for run level 3, run level 4, which doesn't exist, and run level 5. So all the important run levels is on. Okay, run level 6 is reboot. Doesn't make sense to stay down. Okay. All right. So what I'm doing now is I'm gonna start the service. Okay. Usually before starting, my habit is to check the status. Okay, it's off. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna turn it back on. Let's check the status again, and it says that it's running on a PID 5508, and the VSFTPD is on. And then we're going to use the same command we used previously to see port 21 is on. We looked for port 22. Port 22 is used by SSH. Okay, SFTP. If you go on to SFTP, it's using port 22. And then VSFTP, it's using port 21. Okay, so let me copy this. Okay, the command is netstat. Netstat stands for network status hyphen ANP stands for all network port. And then this is a pipe, and then we are grabbing this W21. What happens if we don't type this? It will give you all the list of network ports, all of them. But we are sorting it through, or we are filtering it for grep. We are filtering it for grep 21. And as long as we see listen is on, that's all we care about. Listen. Yeah. Say listen is on. That means it's working. It's ready to take or accept the connection. And then this is a set enforce. This is a SE Linux that we gonna have to turn it off. Let's see. To see what is the current status, you have to type get enforce, and it says is disabled. So I think that's all we need here, but we'll set enforce 0. Okay, and then get enforce. It was already disabled, so we didn't need to do anything, but I did it anyway. Okay, now it's telling us to I disable the IP tables if needed. So let's see here. Okay, since we have already worked on this, since we have already worked on this previously, remember we set up like a web page. It's called, what was that web page for? We set up the web page Apache. When we were setting up Apache, we set the IP tables off. It's a simple command is chconfig IP tables off. Since we are using the same computer here, same host, we don't have to do it. But the command to turn the IP table off is chkconfig IP tables off. Let me go ahead and turn it back on for demonstration purpose, and we'll take a look here. And you see that here IP table is turned on important run levels. When the IP table is turned on, what IP table is? IP table is a firewall. Like here in your Windows, when you click on Windows here, and you will have a firewall and network protection, and it's turned on. Firewall is on, and firewall is on. Firewall is on. Okay, if I try to turn it off, it will give you a big warning, don't do it. Okay, so you are turning it off here because in the big environment, most of the time, the security is handled on the network layer. So inside within the network, you are secure. So let me take a look here. Since it's off, I'm going to turn it off. Okay, let me verify. So the IP table is off. And then what we could do is we could go ahead and go into this configuration file here. Up in the file top here, I put down that we have to go in here and mess around with this configuration file. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in there and then make some changes. Okay, so let's go down here. Be careful, you have to be user to go into this file. I mean, not user, I'm sorry, root to go into this file. And then search for anonymous enable. Okay, so let's see here if it's in here. Okay, when you type like a colon and slash, you're doing a search here. Okay, right here. It threw us over here. It says anonymous enable. Username and password is required. So when it's set to yes, it will ask for the unanimous um, username and password required. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna set it to no. Okay, and then next setting is local enable. Okay, this one is local enable. We are looking at local enable here, and it's set to yes. Right enable yes. Local UMask 022. Okay, it's getting easy here. All these are, you have to follow this document here, the one I prepared here, and then these are the default settings. We are not changing much here, but we still have to verify it. And then right enabled, we already checked that yes. Local UMask 022. Directory message enabled yes. So where is that? Local enable new. Okay, okay, right here I'm right on it. So the directory messages, we are worried about this. There are other settings in here, don't worry about this. When you go in here, just look for directory messages. If it's enabled, move on. And then transfer log enable, yes, it is enabled. And then connect from port 20, yes, is enabled. Transfer log standard format, yes. Let's take a look here. uh where is that? Transfer false standard format, yes. Okay, see, the moment this is not there is no hash sign before it, that means the system is going to read this. The moment if you put like a hash sign in front of it, that means the system will ignore reading this. Okay, remember that. I've shown this to you multiple times. And then it says listen equals yes. Where is listen? Okay, right here down on the bottom. Listen equal yes. We're not messing with it. We're going to leave it alone. And then PAM underscore service underscore name vs FTPD. Okay, so last three settings are same vs FTPD. So the only thing we ever did was we changed the anonymous user is equal to no. Enable is no. Okay, so anybody who's trying to do what this means is anonymous enable equal no means that you need to be a user with a password to be able to connect. Okay, the reason we are turning this on is a security feature. You save and exit. Okay, now it's telling us in a browser you type the IP address. Okay, let's go ahead and type this IP address. But look closely. We are just not typing the IP address. We're typing FTP colon and then the IP address. So open the new browser. FTP colon / IP address. See now what you see here is you have you have made the files. You have made this server here, and then you could make it for the user to be able to download it from here. Okay, I'll show you in a bit here how this is going to exactly work. So the you use the regular username and password. This is created on the server. You should be able to browse the file. By default, root is not allowed to log into FTP. Okay, if the reason being is the root is not able to allow log into FTP is because if you are logged in as root, you may end up doing some damage, and if somebody get hold of the root access, that means they will have root access and they could like remove or delete the files accidentally or maliciously. Okay, so what we're gonna do is it looks a little confusing here, but we have to move on a little bit for us to be able to figure it out what is going on here. Or maybe what you could do is you could go to this folder here over here, FTPD. You go to CD, and this is a public folder, right? Over here, you see there is no files in here. So you go into public, there is nothing in here. So I'm going to create file here, touch Chris. I can't type Bashar. Okay, see there are files in here, right? Let's see here. There you go. Is this making any sense here what we just did? We followed all this. We followed all this guy. We followed all this thing here from here to all the way till here, just for it to make these files available. There would be this would be there would be set up as a repository for the application users for them to be able to go and download their files they needed for their work. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and go on to the second part here, the client one, and let's go ahead and install it. It says to install yum FTP. Over here on the top host, we install vsftpd, but on the bottom one, we install the FTP. We are going to install FTP package. So remember, you have to be a user for you to be able to do this. You type which FTP, and it says no FTP is found. Okay. Normally, why is it going in here? No FTP in all these folders here. Why is it going in there? because these are the default folders that the files and directories for the new application are installed. So let's go ahead and install yum install ftp hyphen y. What is hyphen y is going to do is going to not gonna stop to ask for the confirmation if you really want to download or not. Okay, so let's go ahead and hit enter. Uh-huh. Okay, maybe I type hyphen y here and see if it's going to help. Okay, so what it tells me is that there is no internet connection here. Let me ping the outside world, ping google.com. Okay, so we are not able to go outside this host. See how nicely this one is going. Okay, I dropped the microphone. Can you hear me now still?
Yes.
Okay. I don't like this. I don't want to troubleshoot this, so let me bring up. I have so many other ones here. What is init0 doing?
Shut down.
Shut down, shut down.
Yeah. Okay, get this one is working. All right. So 13. Oh, look at that. Still big, right? Okay, that's fair enough. Okay, so let me log in as root, Red Hat, if config. You could verify here that it's a different host, 1.3. Okay, now it's easier. Okay, so our next step is saying to do yum install FTP. Okay, let's go ahead and do that. More than likely it will install, and then I'm going to do -y. That means it's not going to stop and ask us the question if you really want to install or not. And it didn't. Remember previously, if you remember it earlier in the class today, it stopped and asked you the prompt yes or no. Okay, so which FTP? So remember I was trying to use this command earlier, wasn't working exactly. Now it is working because it installed in this folder. It could be different folder, okay? But it searched the system and it got the information that this is installed in FTP folder. So the next command is telling us not to go on through the browser here. It's going from here to here, okay? So what is the command for here? Okay, 192.168.1.24. So I'm going to type FTP and this here. Okay, and then let's put in the username user1 and the password Red Hat, and see if you see here the prompt, it says FTP here. And then if you do ls, I don't think you could do ls here, but I was hoping if you do ls here is gonna do the list of this public files here, folders that are sitting in this public folder. I mean files which are sitting in this public folder. var/ftp/pub is nothing but a public folder, okay? That's what it stands for. It's this one here. So what we did here is from here we connected to this specific public folder because you are not able to run anything, any other command here. Okay, so what you could do is put mget. So let me type this command here, mget, and copy this file here. So when you type mget, you're getting these files from here, and then you're saving it on this folder. Okay, let me exit and let me clear this. So where did he put those? Okay, give me one moment here. Okay, here's the thing. What happened here is we connected from this host to this host using the username user1. So what we did was we put the files from here on this here. We created some files, right? About 10 files. And the command to transfer files from here to over there to the user is mput. Mput. That's all it is. I'm not sure why, because this is why you use it as mput. So you use mput and then you move the files from there. And then to bring the files down, you type the command mget. Okay, so you type mget, and then let's type mget. Hold on. Touch y10, and then you type mget y10. Yes. Okay, so the file from this host to this host is been downloaded here. So let me exit. And now you see this file mget is in this folder here. It was in this different host because we created a file in this different host here to download it from here to here. Okay. Any questions? Any questions? Okay. So what we're going to do is, next part we're going to do is we're going to set up as anonymous user. What is anonymous user is anybody without username or password is going to log in. So this is a big security hole, but sometimes you need to be able to set this up for the regular user to be able to get the files and folders they need. Okay, so we're going to go back into this vsftp.conf file and hit enter, and then we're going to look for anonymous enabled. We're going to make it yes. I'm going to search for a keyword because there's so much text in here. You type slash and then the keyword, it will point you there. See, it will throw the cursor where the keyword is at, and then you type it, enable it, make it capital yes. You escape out of his, and then local enable no. Okay, you're changing this to local enable no. Okay, and there is another, you're gonna have to look for anonymous upload enable yes, and download yes. We're gonna have to look for this too. Okay, see, it's disabled here. How do you know it's disabled? Either you could type no or disabled here with the pound sign. So just delete the pound sign. That means the script is going to read this file, read this line, and then it says anonymous mkdir write table yes, enable yes. So all right, save and exit. Okay, and then we're gonna have to change the permissions for the public folder. Okay, where is this public folder here? I thought I did pwd here. Okay, so what you're gonna do is type chmod 777, and where is the public folder located? var/ftp/public, and hit enter. You type ls-ld var ftp pub. Okay, since we type it 777, all of them are read write executable. User group others, user groups others, user groups other, they have a full permissions. Okay, this vsftp service should be already started, but we're going to check it again. Service vsftpd status. Okay, it's already running, so we don't have to do it, but I'm going to restart it anyway because it's telling to restart. So if you make any changes when you restart it, those changes will take effect. Okay, still running. Now the PID ID has changed. What is PID ID? PID ID stands for process ID. The process VSFTPD was running on 5508. Now it's running on 5515, 5715. Okay. Okay, so we're not gonna change. We're not gonna feel anything different here because we already are able to connect to public folder here. But what you're gonna see is when you're gonna just go in there and connect, and then it's gonna ID is gonna be anonymous. So let me type ifconfig, and then the command to connect from bottom host to the top host is ftp, and then this, and then what is the username? Username is anonymous, ANONYMOUS. Okay, and it's asking for the password. So I didn't type in the password here. All I did was I just hit enter. Okay, the password is nothing, blank. Now what you could see is, you could see as an anonymous user without password, you are able to go in this directory here. Let's see if we are able to make a directory. Create directory, operation failed. I thought you should be able to make a directory here because we are enabled it to make a right directory. Yes. Okay, let's see here. cd slash var slash ftp slash public, or cd pub. Okay, now we are into this directory. Okay, follow exactly what it says in here, cd pub. So let's see if we could make the directory. Aha, and let's type ls, and you see over here that as an anonymous user, why would you keep anonymous user here? Because sometimes it's necessary for you, for the file transfer between the two hosts. One, this is the server and this is the client, for the file transfer to go between back and forth here. Okay, you would understand why this is important, and it could be a security risk. I mean, the hackers could employ this, but what will happen is, between some applications, you need to just connect together and upload and download the files here. Okay, let's verify in here that the directory is there, and then I think you should be able to change the directory, dir1. Okay, then let's see if you're able to touch file one. mm, what is the permission? Anonymous upload. Okay, so anonymous is not able to create the files, but anonymous is able to upload and download the files here. Okay, so let me go back here, and then use the command mget dir1. Okay, so it got the directory one. So let's go ahead and exit. Okay, so it has downloaded the directory, but where did it download it? So we have to kind of have to little bit go in here in home, ls-l. No, where did it go? Okay, so now I'm a little bit lost here. So I don't know where the directory went here. It says mget to download multiple files from the server to the client. Input to upload the files from client to the, put to upload the single file, get to download the single file here. Okay, interesting. Let me delete all this here. Touch single Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to connect using FTP. Okay, the username is anonymous. There is no password. Then I change it to the directory which is pub. Okay, then it says from here, from here we created a file name single file, right? I'm going to copy this file here and put it in here. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to put, okay, let's see ls. So the single file is here. Okay, and let's, to get the file, type get and the file name. Okay, and to get multiple files simultaneously, it's mget. Mget. Let's go ahead and go into this C folder, cddir1, and let's create like 20 files in there. Touch G. So all of a sudden we have 20 files in here, right? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna have to go into that folder directory here. So when we type public, we are in public folder. So, but we are not in public, we are in dir1. So we could type cd dir1 and we are in there. Okay, unfortunately you cannot do ls here because this is something restricted here. So what you could do is mget g asterisk. You're gonna get multiple files. So the only way you're gonna have to see if you get the files or not is you have to exit and you do ls. It's not there. Ooh, let me try something else. Okay, so let's try cd. It's not there. So the moment you get stuck here, what you're gonna have to do is you have to go to your best friend Google, then type where does mget saves the files. Okay, it's saying that it says it goes into, okay, this is for Windows. It should have been in this folder here. But let me try something here. P mget g1 g2, but no, you have to be in that directory, right? cd Okay, now let me try mget g1 g2 and let me exit out of here. Still not doing it. cd home. So in here, I just realized you have to type. Where does mget save the files in Linux for anonymous user? Okay, apparently there is a file in here, cd incoming. There is no such thing. Okay, so I have to, I gotta admit, I don't know where these files are being saved here. So what we're gonna do is I'll skip on this at this moment, and then I will find this out where this file is being saved here, because it's getting the files from here and then it's saving it here, but I'm not sure where it's saving it here. It's supposed to be saving it in whatever the directory it's in. Let me do ls one time. It's not there. Okay, it's not there. Okay, but you get the idea here that mostly you will be getting the files and moving the files up and down here using either the user ID or using the ID anonymous. Okay, the ID anonymous user is already built in. Okay, so we have completed that. So today we completed SFTP, VSFTP, and did we complete this? How to zip a file? Yeah, I already completed this. How to zip a file. But anyway, can I ask you guys oral questions? Are you guys comfortable now or not ready yet? Because I told you you're gonna have to start memorizing this, and I will be asking these questions orally. If you're not comfortable, then Yaqub has one problem. We could work on that one.